In this video, we're going to examine barriers to entry, the obstacles that affect how easy or difficult it is for new firms to enter an industry. Understanding barriers to entry is an important part of business planning because it helps you evaluate competition, risk, and long-term sustainability. Barriers to entry are obstacles that make it difficult for new firms to enter an industry. These barriers influence how competitive an industry becomes, how much pricing power firms have, and how stable profits are over time. As part of your industry and competitive analysis, barriers to entry help explain why some industries attract many competitors, while others do not. Barriers to entry matter because they shape the level of competition. When barriers are low, new competitors can enter easily, increasing competition and putting pressure on prices and profits. When barriers are high, fewer competitors enter, which often leads to greater stability and stronger profit potential. This is why barriers to entry are critical for assessing the risk and sustainability of a business idea. There are several common types of barriers to entry. These include capital requirements, economies of scale, government regulation and permits, brand loyalty, access to distribution or locations, and switching costs. Most industries face more than one barrier at a time, and the strength of these barriers varies across industries. Some industries require significant startup or operating capital, which can discourage new entrants. In addition, established firms often benefit from economies of scale, meaning they can produce or operate at a lower cost per unit as they grow larger. New entrants may struggle at first because they lack these cost advantages, making it harder to compete on price. Strong brands can also create barriers to entry by building customer loyalty. Limited access to key locations, suppliers, or distribution channels can further restrict entry. Finally, switching costs, such as customer habits, routines, or perceived inconvenience, can make customers reluctant to try new alternatives, even if those alternatives are available. The drive-thru coffee industry is generally considered a low-barrier industry. Startup costs are relatively modest compared to many other industries, and there is no proprietary technology or patent protection preventing new entrants. As a result, many entrepreneurs see drive-thru coffee as an attractive and accessible business opportunity. Despite being a low-barrier industry overall, real barriers still exist. High-traffic locations are limited, zoning and permitting requirements can delay entry, and customers often develop strong routines around where they buy coffee. In addition, there is an operational learning curve. New entrants must quickly achieve speed, consistency, and quality to compete effectively. Economies of scale play an important role in the coffee industry. Large chains benefit from bulk purchasing of coffee beans, cups, equipment, and supplies, which lowers their costs. Independent shops typically face tighter margins and must rely on differentiation, such as service quality or niche positioning, rather than cost leadership. In your business plan, you should clearly identify which barriers to entry exist in your industry. You should explain how these barriers affect competition and describe how your business will overcome, manage, or work within them. Ignoring barriers does not make them disappear. Strong plans acknowledge them realistically. Barriers to entry shape the competitive environment of an industry. Strong business plans recognize these barriers and present clear, realistic strategies for competing successfully within them. Understanding barriers to entry helps you move from a good idea to a credible strategic business plan.